We're just going to quickly review some of the remediation equipment that we have for performing chemical oxidation or in situ bioremediation projects. So the first unit we're going to talk about is a liquid injection skid. I'm going to hand this over to one of our operators, Mr. Mike Ferko. He's been with us many years now, highly experienced, and he's just going to give you a quick tour of this machine.
So this is our liquid chemical injection skid. We use it often for hydrogen peroxide, like this 50% hydrogen peroxide right here. We pump it with these pumps that automatically shut off at 30 psi for safety. They pump through this flow meter, and the injection pump can dilute it to whatever concentration we want, often 10 to 15% on site. We pump it through these totalizers. We can do 4 wells at a time. So this would be an example of pumping into a well down here. We've also got a wash tank on the skid in case someone ends up getting a little bit of chemical on them or we need to rinse off a bit of a spill. We fill that blue tank at the back there with wash water, and you can put the water wherever you need it. So the advantage to this system is because you're dosing chemical into the water flow that you're flowing. If you have to stop for whatever reason, you're getting surfacing, you're not left with batch tanks full of chemical that you can't put anywhere. So that's how the chemical injection skid works. Now I'm going to hand you back to Kevin.
Thanks, Mike. So yeah, that's a quick overview of that system. Often we'd be doing jobs that may extend several days, even weeks. Off-site water, we bring it in by truck, it's tanked, and then we can mix to the appropriate dosage for your site. It's a very handy machine, very safe, and our operators are fully familiar with operating it. Neil Harker in our office and a couple other folks who have a lot of experience with various in situ chemox projects can help you develop a recipe, or we could just work off your recipe if you have an idea of how exactly you want to inject it. So this liquid skid would do hydrogen peroxide mixed down to 10%. It can be stabilized and or catalyzed. So depending on your specific site needs, if you need an activator, typically sites with enough iron in the soil, it'll activate just in the native soil, but sometimes you need to add that, or even a stabilizer, an acid. Citric acid is one that we've used many times. So this machine, very handy for your liquid injections. Could also use inoculants, microbes, or a variety of chemistry in your site remediation. The next thing I'll talk about, we obviously do powderized chemicals. I would be remiss if I didn't give Sequoia Supply another plug. This is a unit that can be filled with ORC, oxygen releasing compound, calcium peroxide, and it would be hung in a well as a sort of a passive remediation technique. Jason Shaver in Sequoia Supply, happy to get you quotes on these for your site if you have low-level dissolved phase hydrocarbons that you want to deal with in the longer term through either extended bioremediation program or what have you. So that's that unit. This is an example of a powderized chemical. So this is closure CR, and this chemical is one that we commonly use. We have a system that is designed specifically for mixing dry chemicals and keeping them in solution while those chemicals are injected. So what we've done is with Venturi and circulation, we have a unit that can mix the chemical and then inject it into your either geoprobe locations or monitoring wells as needed. The unit, the geoprobe bobcat mounted unit, very handy size for going down 5, 6, 8 meters, depending on your soil conditions. We hook that up to either the liquid injection system or the powderized chemical injection system, and that is able to then, with those rods in the ground, we're able to inject chemical specifically into different horizons in the soil and different depths. So again, the recipes are site dependent, what chemical you're going to use, dry chemical versus liquid, but the process is basically the same, either in rods, in wells, mix chemical, inject, and then hopefully get some remediation on your site. Oh, and there's a close-up of this is Permeox Ultra to be specific. It's just some we had in our shop. So you can see the consistency of that. Once it's in solution, we keep it suspended, and then it's able to be injected while constantly circulating. The equipment usually goes out in a trailer. Currently, our dry chem skid has been loaded up. It's headed to a job site today. So it's enclosed, safe. In the winter, it's insulated, so you can work 365 days a year in Alberta. I mean, obviously, we're not trying to inject too much if it's below -20, but just because of the surface problems with freezing and hoses. But yeah, we have lots of experience, and we can help you design your program, and then we can help you implement it. And if you already have a program that you've designed, we're more than happy to just help you implement it. So that's kind of a brief summary of some of our wet and dry chemical in situ injection equipment.